Greetings everyone, my name is Samuel Nicholson Jr. and I'll be presenting on my practicum proposal for this seminar submission. As it relates to my practicum topic, it is the effect of compensation management on employee performance at Prudential Management Firm. I've decided to take on internship over internal placement for my practicum form, as my place of employment does not have an HR officer or HR department per se. So I'll maximize on it and put all that I've learned into practice on internship at Blake and Blake. Now, Blake and Blake Enterprise is a consultancy company that deals with HR, management services, and accounting. They have been contracted by Prudential Management Firm, who is also a management service agency in the financial service industry. The focus and rationale of my practicum. When it comes to compensation and benefits, I believe that employers and employees, they play a pivotal role in how an organization is run, sorry. Employers need employees and employees need employers. When it comes to employees expectations, they must be working hand in hand with the employer's expectations in order for the company to be successful. Now let's start off with the employer's expectations of employees. They need to be self-monitoring, which would include self-development. It would adhere to rules and regulations, and it will also increase productivity. All these are very much necessities that a company must have, and employees must be aware of these expectations by the employers. Similarly, on the flip side, the employees has expectations that they need of their employers as well. When it comes to employees' expectations, they need management to provide the necessary tools and equipment for them to get their job done, and they want to be compensated fairly. I have this motto that I usually go by: happy employees equals productivity, which equals a successful company. So if the employees are happy, that would in turn make the management happy, as the business would be running smoothly and it would be successful. Now, why do this practicum? I believe there are many reasons why I need to get this practicum done, but let's start off with what the findings will be like. I think that I could use some of these findings, and not only myself but other people coming behind, for further research in the field of compensation. And also it could serve as a knowledge base for a comprehensive look into the lapses of management in the compensation at Prudential Management Firm. They need the help in terms of why some employees are unhappy with their compensation, and why management is unhappy with the level of turnout that the employees are putting. So that is where the focus of this practicum will come in. Now, for the practicum objectives, the general objective is basically to determine the effect of compensation management on employee performance. But there are specific objectives that I want to garner from this general objective. These specific objectives include: 1. To determine the importance of compensation management on employee performance at Prudential Management Firm. 2. To identify the compensation packages available at Prudential Management Firm. 3. To investigate the problems and challenges associated with compensation management at Prudential Management Firm. And 4. To identify other forms of compensation and to also recommend ways of addressing the challenges that the compensation management at Prudential Management Firm has. With that said, we need to know what other people are saying as it relates to compensation and job performance. That is where the literature review comes in. Now let's start off by defining what compensation is. Milkovich and Newman 1999 states that all forms of financial returns and tangible services and benefits employees receive are a part of an employment relationship. In addition, the Journal of Global Business and Economics 2010 states that the combination of all cash incentives and fringe benefits mix that an employee received from a company, which constantly costs the individual's total compensation. Chabra 2001 states that a wide range of financial and non-financial rewards given to employees in exchange for their services rendered to the organization. These are usually paid in the form of wages, salaries, employee benefits such as paid vacations, insurance, maternity leave, free traveling, retirement benefits, and so forth. Now, let's look at another theme, the importance of compensation management on employee performance. What are people saying about that? Baker 2002 states that the output or performance of an employee is a combination of effort, ability, and error margin, providing for all uncontrollable factors, at least from the employee's perspective. It also states that performance measures are selected based on two criteria. The first one, the alignment with the organizational objective, and the second one, the controllability by the employee. Now, how do we relate compensation to employee performance? Shinrong and Chinwei 2012, Mason and Barrett 2006, Ines and Pedro 2011, and Dennis and Mitchell 2011, they all are relating compensation and employee performance. It has been found that there's a significant relationship between compensation of the employee and their organizational performance. Now, these four theorists, they all state that for a company to be successful, they must have a tangible compensation package, one that the employees are happy with in order for them to work, be dedicated, and do the job to the best of their ability. In terms of the compensation package, the minute an employee feels as though they're getting paid well, they always, or 95% of the time, as stated by Ines and Pedro 2011, that they will work hard and they will go above and beyond to the benefit of their company. Dennis and Mitchell also highlighted that fact when they stated that when an employee works hard, they expect to have a good compensation package. Whenever mediocre compensation packages comes into play, that is whereby we have a lapse in judgment by employees, and also you see that they tend to not do their best as they would want to, because most times people are generated by are motivated by compensation. And in terms of compensation, it's twofold. It's not only the monetary aspect, but also the non-financial rewards as well, such as like what I mentioned earlier, like the paid vacation leave, retirement, and so forth. They want to know that they're appreciated. And once that is in place, they're able to work hard and do their best to the benefit of the company. Now, the types of compensation packages. Dessler 2011 stated that compensation can be divided into two forms: direct compensation and indirect compensation. Let's start off with direct compensation. Direct compensation includes direct cash benefits, whether you're being paid monthly, bi-monthly, or weekly, or it includes stock bonus or executive stock options. Now, these are the ones that you can see on a regular basis. These are the things that you're able to, okay, you know what, you're getting paid to do this, this, and this, and this is the amount of money that you're going to get either monthly, bi-monthly, or weekly. That is for direct compensation. In terms of indirect compensation, Dessler 2011 states that indirect financial and non-financial payments employees receive for continuing their employment. And Armstrong states that the elements of remuneration given in addition to the various forms of cash payment. Now, what does this mean? Many times employees feel as though that they're working and they don't have that that leverage to, you know what, take time off, whether it be sick leave, whether it be maternity leave, and so forth. Now, indirect compensation is when they're paid for that in some way, for services, even though they're not present at the job, and that in turn helps the employee to even work harder because it tells them that their employers care. Noe 1996 also states in terms of indirect compensation that it should facilitate its recruitment effort or influence the potential of employees coming to work for a company. Meaning that if the compensation package looks good, right away the employee would want to work. That would make the employee really strive to be a better person and do a successful job for the company. In terms of performance indicators, Aguinis 2007 states that standards can refer to various aspects of a specific objective, including quality, quantity, and time. Each of these aspects can be considered criteria to be used in judging the extent to which an objective has been achieved. Now, what is all that saying? That is simply saying that when it comes to performance, there are certain standards that need to be met. When you meet certain standards, you're given certain rewards. So rewards is heavily dependent on your performance. Given a good compensation packages, especially in terms of performance indicators, an individual tends to want to work even harder because the harder they work, the better compensated they will be. Now, challenges associated with compensation management. SWOT Papa 2007 states that lack of participation in indirect compensation will in fact lead to challenges. Also, uniformity of benefit fails to recognize workforce diversity. Uniformity leads to administrative decisions and so forth that may not readily help employees. Remember, employees come from different walks of life. They have various cultures, ethnic background, religious beliefs, and so forth. So in terms of the indirect compensation, whereas one individual might get a day off because of their religious belief, another person might get benefit in other areas. So basically, the alignment would be a bit different. But if each employee knows that you care for them and it's still in alignment with their performance, it should not be a problem, and it will, as what Papa states, that if this lack of participation in the indirect compensation, if you don't address to each concerns, then you'll have issues with the compensation management. Now, the proposed methodology, I've decided to use random sampling. The reason for that is I don't want to have everybody from the organization uh, do the questionnaire. I'll just have different individuals in there do it. And in terms of the interviewing, I will leave that for the management or the senior individuals. The interview will be very structured. I'll also have SurveyMonkey, which is an analysis tool to help me in terms of compiling the data for everyone for the questionnaires and so forth. In terms of the data collection and analysis procedure, the data collection, we'll use the questionnaires, the interviews, and like I said, the SurveyMonkey tool. In terms of the questionnaires, that will be compiled of the biodata, the age, sex, and department, their length of service. The questions linking compensation management and employee performance. You'll also identify the compensation packages available, challenges associated with the management, and so forth. In terms of the interviews, I need to adhere that and make sure that the interviews are well experienced, opinionated, they have feelings, knowledge, and they have input. The data analysis technique, it will be bivariate analysis, which means that it'll have two variables that I'm comparing, and that would be the job performance and the compensation. And I'll use the deductive approach, being that most of my research will be the qualitative method. Expected learning. Now, there are many things that we need to get out of this practicum experience. Now, the first thing I want to get out of it, the results of this study should map a link between total compensation and its management and the performance of employees. Employees usually do not have the whole picture, so after having done this, it will give them the whole picture after getting their questionnaires and their surveys compiling, and when we have them see the whole picture, they'll be able to understand, okay, these are the reasons why compensation are having problems. Also, it will help management to ensure that they create the avenues for employees to get abreast with policies, have the employees know that policies do exist, and this will help them. And finally, I think that an effective performance management system goes a long way to ensure equity in the distribution of compensation packages. So overall, like I said, happy employees equals happy management productivity, which equals a successful company.